There's three ways to experience this life: by watching it, by being involved with it, and by allowing it to happen through you. Watching it, being involved with it, and allowing it to happen through you. So there was a book I was reading, Eastern Body, Western Mind, and it breaks down. There's a chapter where it breaks down what consciousness is, and I wanted to share this because the author breaks it down in three stages. Imagine being by the riverbank. This is stage one. You're watching the flow of the river, which is life. You're watching it happen. And all you're doing is gathering data about the way that the water is moving and the way that the waves are crashing together and the way that it's flowing. You're just gathering information. You're watching it from the outside, looking in. And there's only so much that you can talk about before eventually your inquiry, your curiosity, your experience leads you into the second stage, which is experiencing it by jumping in. So once you've jumped in, you now reach the second stage of consciousness, which is experience itself. The author calls it mythic consciousness. So the first stage is logical, rational consciousness, then mythic consciousness, and the third one is evolutionary. So first one, you're watching. Second one, you're actually experiencing it now. You're in the water, you're in the river, and you're seeing how it feels because you're being moved backwards and forwards. And at that point, you can't explain it by saying there's this many gallons of water or it moves in this direction. You can only experience it. So as the saying goes, the truth cannot be told, it can only be realized. You can only realize it through your own experience, through your own five senses. Someone else tries to explain it to you, it's not going to be the same as you experiencing it yourself, because you have to be emotionally involved. So when you're emotionally involved in life, that's when you can share what's happening. To other people, it's just a description because they haven't been through what you've been through. But for you, because you've emotionally been there, you've got the memories, you've got the experience behind you, you can relive it when you're telling and teaching whatever it is you've gone through. But at this point, you're still fighting. All right, you're experiencing it, but you're still not understanding it. You're still trying to figure things out. You're still trying to sometimes go against the current. The third one that the author talks about is evolutionary consciousness, when you become one with the river, basically. So it's flowing in a certain direction. And when you allow yourself to flow with it, when you allow opportunities to come to you, when you allow experiences just to happen as they are, by being present and by being available to each moment, that's when you can actually enjoy it and grow and become the person that you were aspiring to be or meant to be, because now you're allowing opportunities, resources, people, connections to come to you, because they may not be masked in the same way that you think. So in your head, you've got, okay, I'm going to get a letter in the mail that's going to give me this opportunity. So every other opportunity you've now closed yourself off to, because you've said to yourself, it's only going to be through a letter. What happens if it's an email and you don't check your emails regularly? Silly example, but it's an example nonetheless about how you need to become one with how this whole process works. Another example is if you're going through some sort of pain and you think, where's this going to get me? This is upsetting me because it's not working out the way I want it to work out. But what you don't see is if you go with the flow, you'll realize that actually there's lessons to be learned from that situation that's going to better you. So when you look back, you're 10 times further than you would have been had you not gone through that experience. But if you keep fighting it and say, this is wrong for me, this is wrong for me, you can't see the bigger picture. You're not going to be able to move forward. If you could see the bigger picture, as Einstein once said, I'm not going to quote him because I don't know the quote, but paraphrasing, I just want to be able to see like God. If you could see like God, see the whole map of your life from beginning to end, you could see how all the small pieces of the puzzle could come together. Anything that happens that's quote unquote negative or that doesn't happen the way you envisioned it, you're going to know that it's linking to the next thing. So I'm not going to worry about it because I know what's coming. But the issue comes up when we realize I don't know what's coming. I don't know what to make of this situation that's in front of me right now. So what the author's talking about is when you eventually come to the place in your life where you become one with the experience of life itself, that's when you begin to enjoy it the most. So something for you guys to think about. Hopefully it helps shift your perspective a little bit in terms of what's going on with you and the situations and experiences that might arise for you in the future.